listening to The Sports Nuts.
And good afternoon, and welcome to another edition of the Sports Corner Show. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ralph Williams. I am the host of the Sports Corner Show every Tuesday, 4 p.m. right here on the Sports Nuts Network, on RW Media Productions, on YouTube, Facebook, and also on the Twitter X platforms. And we're also on Pensman Sports and several other platforms as well here. We're also picked up by KFCE Radio in Terrell, Texas, 95.5 on the FM dial, and also on the TigerNation.live, Texas, Oklahoma, and Missouri. We are also on 93.3 TJR in 95.7 or 107.5. The Ticket, I apologize for that, 93.3 KGR in Seattle, and also 105.5 FM, the Roar in Easley, South Carolina, and WGR 550 AM in Buffalo, New York. I want to thank everyone for and Brandon Keeler and the Sports Nuts for letting us broadcast on their station as well. All right, Tiger Stripes Media, Brian Pettit says good afternoon. Good afternoon, Brian. And let me introduce to you my co-host, Smokin Jim Frazier, by way of the phone. Smokin Jim, how are you today?
I'm doing good, Ralph. Ready for this one, buddy.
All right. And this afternoon, today, we have a great show for you. We have two guests coming on. One is coming on in a few moments. His name is Lou Marconi. He covers the Cleveland Browns, and we're going to talk about their new head coach, Todd Monken. And then later on at 4:30, Mike Sisak, a friend of the show, has been here on many times. He'll be on to talk with us from Amped Up Sports about the Baltimore Ravens and their new head coach. So we are going to bring on everybody that has a new head coach. I'm working on getting somebody on to talk about their team's new head coach. So that's coming up as well. And I got some we got some other news going on all around the NFL and everything else. Baseball season's coming up. We'll be talking baseball stuff coming up. I got an analyst coming on in the next couple of weeks. And we're really moving along here on the Sports Corner Show. Also, don't forget at 5 o'clock, Wrestle Talk with me, Ralph Williams, and Smokin Jim Frazier. We're going to be talking about Elimination Chamber coming up this Saturday on Wrestle Talk. All right. Also, we have who else do we have here? All right. Oh, yes. The Olympics today. We'll be sending out our congratulations out to the Olympic gold medal winners, especially the USA teams, both women and men, who won in the Olympics. All right, let's get Lou up here right now. Lou Marconi, who covers the Cleveland Browns. As soon as I can get him up on the stage here, there we go. Lou, welcome to the program. How are you?
Oh, thanks for having me on. Yeah, thank you. I'm doing great, man. How are you?
Good. Lou, you cover the Cleveland Browns. Tell us a little bit about what's going on there. I know Todd Monken's the new head coach. What's it looking like for the Browns this year with Todd Monken? What do you think?
Well, I tell you what, the first and foremost, thanks for having me on. Anybody that wants to check out our content every Friday night, I do the Analytics This broadcast with the Stu Spark Media Group every Sunday morning on Rumble and YouTube. I have the Sunday Stew Pot with Corey Castle. Thank you. All right, let's just talk about the Browns.
And also Lou's into wrestling too, and he does a little.
I'm a retired pro wrestler. I'm a retired. That's the belt. The belts are behind me. Yeah, that's why I first came on. That's why I first came on there. I'm almost 53 years old, so I'm happy to be
done. You're done with wrestling.
I'm happy to be moving and healthy. Yeah. For now,
I know what you mean.
Yeah. I get calls all the time about, hey, you want to do an old timers? I'm like, no.
No, not interested, huh?
The thing about Todd Monken, I think most fans are, when it first came out, I think because I remember seeing the on social media reaction when Mike McCarthy was hired by the Steelers, it was just like, oh, really, him? We could have done better. But people were mad, and then they thought about it and they kind of calmed down. But they wanted to keep the defensive coordinator Jim Schwartz. And he was so upset. I don't know if you heard this or not, but he was so upset that he didn't get the job that he left the building. And I guess it was heated. I don't know how heated it was or how bad it was.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jim Schwartz has just left the building.
Pretty much. He left the building, cleaned out his office. Yeah, he tried to keep him. He left. So then they ended up hiring Rottenberg from Atlanta to be the defensive coordinator. And I just got news today that Dom Capers, the old defensive coordinator under Bill Cowher, is a senior defensive assistant now on the team. So they're going to keep the system in place and the players in place, but it won't be Schwartz. So people are hoping that he can fix the offense. It's some optimism right now, but we always have that as Browns fans in February and April. So we'll have to see. Translates. We figured with this defense and this, our offense was like 31st in the league last year and it was terrible. We won 5 games.
Right.
Divisional games to end the season.
And Kevin Stefanski got coach of the year and ended up getting fired. I mean,
he did 2 years ago. Yeah, he did 2 years ago. He got fired this year because he won 8 games in 2 years. So the owner Haslam pretty much said, "Hey, this isn't good enough. We can do better. We have to do better. The fans deserve better. So we expect more wins." So they're expecting to win more than 5 games. That's really the expectation. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Smokin Jim. Any questions for Lou?
Satisfied at your quarterback position, sir?
No. That's a good question.
He just put out a play. No, he said.
No. I want to say this. I don't see them doing much with it this year because they're strapped with the Watson contract for 1 more year. I think Shedeur will be the starter, and they might give him another chance to see what he can do. But I don't see them. I don't know if Shedeur is the long-term answer or not. I think I heard Dylan Gabriel's going to be released and Watson will be the backup. And we're just, so I don't, but I heard there was rumors of Malik Willis. I don't see them spending that kind of money on that guy when they already have that money tied into Watson. Plus he started less games than Shedeur did. Shedeur started 7 games. And I don't see a whole lot change in there this year. Maybe they'll draft a guy, maybe Ty Simpson later in the first, early in the second, maybe, but that's a big maybe. I think they're looking to put pieces in the offense because the whole offensive line is going to be rebuilt, and we need receivers. So, I mean, we're okay at running back and tight end 1 because David Njoku's leaving. I don't know if you guys knew that or not.
Wow,
David Njoku, his contract's up.
Pickup for the Steelers if he's
the reason why we drafted him was the rumor was he was going to be drafted by Pittsburgh, and I think they ended up drafting Watt instead, if I'm not mistaken. Was that 2017? Yeah. So that's it could be So more, he was hurt a lot last year too. So
I don't know if we want damaged goods. We got enough of those. I mean, we've had.
Well, it was funny when I was at the second last game of the season when the Steelers were in Cleveland, and I was sitting by some Steelers fans and Cam Hayward, and I was like, how old is Cam Hayward now? I mean, he's been around for 14 years.
Yeah, he's I think 37, maybe 30. I think he's 35 or something like that.
Productive, very productive. Ohio State guy. The other thing too, I don't know if you knew about this with Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah has a similar situation that Ryan Shazier had.
That's similar type of injury, you mean?
Yes.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, because Ryan Shazier was an Ohio State guy too, and he pretty much was paralyzed on the field. Now, Koramoah, I wasn't sure if he was paralyzed. He did a play tackling Derrick Henry against Baltimore in 24. He got carried off the field, and he can't get medically cleared to come back. That's the rumors that I'm hearing right now. Okay. So he's probably going to retire. So that's really where we're at. The other rumor too that we're getting is a trade down from number 6. We already have the 6th and the 24th pick in the draft. The rumor was we were going to trade back with Dallas, but I don't see Dallas doing this. But we would give up our 6th and 39th, and Dallas will give us their 12th and 20th. So we'd have 3
I see. Picks. Okay. Yeah.
That's the rumor I'm hearing, but I don't know if that'll happen or not. So but
okay, what kind of draft capital does Cleveland have? I mean, does the Browns have any serious draft capital that they can afford to do that? Is that they have plenty of draft picks?
They have 10 picks. They have 10 picks and 2 in the first round. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, we have draft capital, so we needed that because when we traded back last year with Jacksonville from the 2nd spot down to the 5th, we picked up their first rounder this year.
Let me ask you this, Lou. What happened with Jim Schwartz? Why didn't was it because the players wanted him? Or did they Jim Hassan want to go in another direction? What's the word on this?
Why
not Jim Schwartz as head coach?
Why not Jim Schwartz? They wanted to go offense.
I see.
They wanted to go in a different direction. And Todd Monken, it was him it was Schwartz and that really young guy from the Rams, Shieldhouse.
Yeah, Showhouse. Yeah, well,
And-
he's
and
now their
people-
offensive coordinator with the Rams.
Yeah,
now.
he just thought he was a little bit
promoted.
green, like he wasn't
Green,
ready
yeah.
for it, and they didn't want to. They didn't want to bring out Schwartz. They wanted to go with Monken for the offense. That's it.
Okay,
So,
I see.
I'm surprised.
Oh, go ahead, Lou.
Well, Schwartz is still under contract for 2 more years, so I don't know how it's going to work or what could happen. But go ahead,
Oh, yeah.
smoking Jim. What you got for me?
Go ahead, Smoking Jim.
Well, there were some rumors out there that Watson may have a shot at QB1 this year.
They'll let him compete, but I think that shoulder injury that he happened in Baltimore in 23, I think that's what did him in. He hasn't had the right velocity on the ball unless somehow he got that strength back. That's the only thing I could think of. But if they let him compete, sure, he'll compete. But I think Shador will be the guy.
All right, breaking news here by my good friend Jeremy Ballrick with the kneecap biting up in Detroit there. He says the Falcons have cut Kyle Pitts. So there you go.
They cut him?
They cut him according to what this said. They tagged him. I'm sorry, they tagged him. He's got the franchise tag on him. So,
okay. Yeah, because I know they're going to release Kirk Cousins is going to be released.
Yeah, well, Kyle Pitts has been tagged. So we're going to have an Atlanta guy coming on next week, talk about the Falcons. I got a guy coming on, and then about their new head coach, Kevin Stefanski, formerly of the Cleveland Browns.
I could talk about him.
I know. What do you think? I always say this. Sometimes a second chance is always your best chance to be, as a head coach. Now, this is Kevin Stefanski's second go-round. What do you think he'll do in Atlanta? Do you think he'll be able to win there, or what? What do you think?
Yeah, I think he will. If he has the personnel. He didn't have the offensive personnel here, so I think somebody had to go, and that's really what it was.
I see.
Now, let me ask you this: I have some Steeler questions, if you don't mind me.
Okay, go ahead. Sure, I don't get. Yeah.
Well, did you? Because I remember just seeing Tomlin on the sidelines for these games. He looked tired. He looked like he was done.
Yeah, he did kind of look like he was where out. The job was getting to him. Lately,
do you think he was going to? If he didn't retire, if he didn't leave, do you think the Steelers would have fired him? That's my question. I'm sorry.
Well, I don't think they would have fired him because he still had 1 more year left on his contract and an option. They told him that he wasn't going to be given his option. So I think that's when he said, I'm going to step away. And he did look tired. And I think he looked kind of disgusted. And, and I've been watching the football lives of both Chuck Noll and Bill Cowher lately. And, both of them were in the same boat. I mean, Chuck Noll just had enough, and he said, I'm going to go do my life's work and just retire. Bill Cowher, his wife had skin cancer, and then also he wasn't getting along with Art II because Art II took full control of the team right after Tomlin was hired, or before Tomlin was hired. And Cowher and Art II clashed. And
I never heard that. No.
Yeah,
most people in Cleveland think everything's perfect in Pittsburgh, and I said, no, it's not.
At all. Not at all. There's skeletons in a closet. Nobody talks about.
Grass isn't greener on the other side.
Exactly. Yes, exactly.
So, do you see Aaron Rodgers coming back?
I'm going to tell you what I know now.
Go ahead.
And I'm going to say this right now. I found out recently, and I wasn't going to say anything until another time. The Steelers are keeping this a secret. He is coming back. They're trying to keep it a secret. McCarthy has indicated that he has spoken with Aaron Rodgers. They have had a conversation. The story I got was that the Steelers are trying to keep it low key and keep it off the radar until they actually, to give everybody some suspense. Okay. That's what I'm hearing. So,
so if I'm understanding you, the Steelers are going to run back what they did last year.
Yeah, they're going to have Aaron Rodgers again, and I think they're going to bring up Will Howard as their second quarterback, and maybe bring in an experienced guy. I don't know what they're going to do with Mason Rudolph yet. We'll see. Mike McCarthy has put together an awesome staff. I mean, and this is the most staff in the history of this team that he's put together. And the story I heard was that he told Art II, I don't want this job if you're not going to let me pick who I want and bring him in here and pay him. So
Yeah, they
they're
didn't
doing
pay
it.
a lot. They didn't pay a lot for assistants. Okay.
Yeah. They don't pay a lot for assistants. But
So that whole Matt Canada debacle a few years
yeah,
ago was Art the second.
yeah. Well, that was Art the second, and then also he owed Mike Tomlin. He was the coach at Maryland at the time when Maryland decided to recruit Dino Tomlin. And Randy Edsall got fired at Maryland, and then Matt Canada took over. And Canada and Tomlin have been friends for years, so that's why he owed Canada a favor and brought Canada in as a coach. So when he was a quarterbacks coach, he was okay, but when he became offensive coordinator, it got out of control. You know what I mean? He had no idea what he was doing, and he's a college offensive coordinator. He should have stuck with that.
Yes.
You know what I always say? You go to Arby's. And Arby's has hamburgers now, okay? And my wife took a bite into she ordered that hamburger, and she says Arby's needs to stick to what they know. Roast beefs and steak, their cheesesteak hoagies out of sight. But I mean, and things like that. And get away from these burgers because she said the burger was terrible, and then she had the Italian hoagie they recently had. And there we are. So
Yeah. I'm just curious. I just had some Steelers questions too, but it was just interesting. Are there going to be other like roster changes you see happening in Pittsburgh? Because the whole offense is going to look different with Cleveland.
Yeah. Well, Johnny Smith Lou is going bye-bye. As I understand that he's got this piss poor attitude. I hear they're getting rid of the attitude guys. Patrick Queen. I heard some stories about him.
That linebacker, yeah.
He's got a bad attitude. A lot of the players don't like him; they want him out. So I don't know. We're going to find out. We won't know until March.
Well, you got to
next
base
week
it on
we're
what
going to find out
Yeah.
what's going on because
but you got to think about it. The AFC North has three new head coaches, including
new head coaches. Right.
The only reason why Zach Taylor's still there is because Cincinnati's too cheap to get rid of him and pay him.
Well, no, Cincinnati told Zach Taylor either fire your assistants or we fire you, and he didn't want to fire his assistants because he's friends with them, but he had to fire him because if he didn't fire his coordinators or whatever, they were going to fire him. So he decided that was the agreement they made. So we'll see what happens.
Oh, that's interesting. They said fire.
We'll see if Joe Burrow stays healthy. We'll see if they finally, for once in their life, get that offensive line right. That's been bad for them for years. We saw it in the Super Bowl. I mean,
and Trey Hendrickson too.
Yeah, Trey Hendrickson. I think he's gone. I think he left.
Yeah, he's gone. He's gone.
Yeah, he's
without
gone.
him
they
on
don't
defense.
have anybody. Yeah, they
don't have anybody on defense.
Yeah, they better get with it. But that's fine. The worse they are, the better we are. So that's good.
Yes, I'm fine with. So, do you see Baltimore being a contender with the new coach?
No, I don't. I don't see him at all. Mike Sissak's coming on at 4:30. He covers the Baltimore Ravens from Amped Up Sports, and he's going to come on and talk with us about that. He's going to be on by phone too. So
yeah, we'll see how it pans out. But I would just say this because I know DeJuan Jones will probably be the only starter from game that was from last year coming back on the offensive line.
Yeah. But Smokin, Jim, do you have anything you want to add here?
Kenneth Gainwell, Lou is probably gone. He's a free agent.
Yeah.
And,
Who?
Probably, Kenneth Gainwell.
The running back, Kenneth Gainwell. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's probably going to throw a few dollars this way. And I think the Steelers would like to have Aaron Rodgers back, but the wild card is going to be Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota Vikings is reported may try to go after Aaron Rodgers again. They tried a little bit last year, but they gave J.J. McCarthy a shot. I don't think they want to go through another season with J.J. McCarthy's inexperience. So I think Aaron Rodgers would accept a position with Minnesota, even if it's the same money as Pittsburgh, because number one, it's a division that he loves to play in. He loves to play in Chicago. It's a dome stadium, and that offense and that offensive talent with the Minnesota Vikings is second to none. So I think Aaron Rodgers would lead the Minnesota, gave him a legitimate offense.
Yeah, he's got two good receivers to throw to, Justin Jefferson and Addison. So he's got a lot. Which Steelers should talk.
I heard another rumor. I don't know if you heard this about Joe Burrow being traded to Minnesota.
That could happen.
McCarthy and a
But
pick.
my question is, if the Bengals trade him, who do they have? That's my question.
They'll get McCarthy in return. They start McCarthy.
Okay, so trade McCarthy. I'll swap in quarterbacks. I see.
Swapping quarterbacks. And probably some draft picks too.
You know what I always say too, Lou, and I'll say it again. I've said it 1,000 times here and over, and Smokin Jim's heard it. A change of atmosphere can do a man good. Look at Sam Darnold. Let's look at that example of Sam Darnold. Look, he went to the Super Bowl. He's with Seattle. Clint Kubiak was his coach. You know what I mean? He was good at Minnesota with their coach Kevin O'Connell. Okay, you know, and Aaron Rodgers could thrive in Minnesota with Kevin O'Connell.
Oh, he could. With that talent,
you know, with that talent too. Yeah. You know, and Joe Burrow could probably thrive with that talent. Although he had talent in Cincinnati, they paid heavily to keep T. Higgins and Jamar Chase. You know, So, I mean, you know, and the problem with Cincinnati was they wasted all their money on them two guys. That's exactly what happened. You know what I mean? You know, that's
why I wasn't worried about Myles Garrett breaking the single season sack record the last week of the season. He did it with 5 minutes left in the game. It was funny though.
Okay, breaking news, folks. Those of you just tuned in, Kyle Pitts has been franchise tagged by the Atlanta Falcons. Thank you, Jeremy Balrick. Also, like and subscribe. Hello, Isaiah. Thank you for tuning into the program. And we have some others here as well that are part of the. Don't forget today. The USA won in Special Olympics. That's good. That's some breaking news. Thank you for that as well. So, you know, there you are.
Awesome.
All right. Let me see if I can find that here. That breaking news thing. Here we go. I have there it is. We'll mention. Hold on. There's one in here that says breaking news, but I got to find it. Oh, that's all right. I'll find it. It might be
interesting thing. People were talking about this, that if we would have lost our last two games to Pittsburgh and Cincinnati, that we would have the #1 overall pick.
Yeah, that would have been interesting, and then you could have got Mendoza and see what happened. Yeah, you know. My question to you, Lou, let me ask you this: why are they wasting time with Watson? Why don't they just rid him and eat it? I mean,
the cap hit. This is the cap hit. He'll be a June 1st, 27 cut.
Oh,
June 1st, 27
man.
Cut. Yeah, even the owner came out and said last year it was a big swing and a big miss, and it was him. That institute.
Well, you know what? At least if Jimmy Haslam has the guts, as they say, to come out and admit he was wrong. You know what I mean? You know.
Yeah, people still complained about it though, so you're gonna have fans complaining no matter what.
Oh yeah,
any city.
Yeah.
The other thing too, just so you guys know, that the groundbreaking for the new stadium, for that dome is next week, early March.
Oh, okay, great. Well, congratulations on the Cleveland Browns getting their new. The new
facility. Right across the street from the Hopkins Airport, so that stadium, they're already putting together a plan on tearing that stadium down and doing with some sort of, I don't know what they're going to do. They're going to have some sort of development plan.
So we can't call it the mistake at the lake anymore.
No. Well, that I wanted, you can call it that, because that stadium was built in a rush. They tore down the old one, built a new one on that spot, and it was built in a rush. And it was a piece of crap when it was just
wow. It was built just to get them back right away. Because I remember when they left to go to Baltimore, and then in '99 they came back as an expansion team. And and
the expansion team was put together in less than a year. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, I know. That was like
like the death penalty for the Browns. Is what it was.
I know. Any further questions for Lou here before I let him go? There, Smokin Jim.
Smokin, what you smoking?
Hey Lou, when do they expect the new stadium to be completed?
The what to be completed?
The new stadium. When's the new stadium?
It's going to open. It's going to be open in preseason 2029.
2029, Smokin Jim.
Yep. So about.
All right. Any other questions for Lou before I let him go?
Great job, Lou.
All right, thank you.
And pleasure, guys. Thanks for having me on.
All right, you too, Lou. Have a great one, and thank you. And keep up the podcast. Tell everybody how they can watch.
Yeah, you can find. Well, I'm on Twitter. I'm on YouTube every Friday night. Analytics this, and then on Sundays I'm on Rumble and YouTube with the Sunday Stew Pot with Corey Castle. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, that was Lou Marconi, who covers the Cleveland Browns, to give us some insight as to what's going on. And Todd Monken is the new head coach. Smokin Jim, what are your thoughts about what Lou had to say?
Lou was dynamite, man. of the Cleveland fans is hoping that Sanders is a quarterback of the future, man. Everybody's looking for that quarterback of the future. But I think that even though they lost Schwartz, bringing in Dom Capers, who's up in age, but to be an advisor on the defense is going to help. Sounds like they're going to move more towards a 3-4 defense. That's what Dom specialized in. So, football's always better, man, when Cleveland has a competitive team. So let's see.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They've been a competitive team. Just made some mistakes, and and over the years they've made some bad decisions and whatnot. So we'll see what happens.
30 quarterback mistakes.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so I'm getting ready to get Mike Sisak here. Mike is covers the Baltimore Ravens for Amped Up Sports. I'm getting ready to get him on here in a few moments. So we'll just be standing by here for a minute. But anyway, I wanted to talk a little bit today. I wanted to give my rant since we got started with Lou right away. I wanted to talk about the Olympics. And now come to find out that Lindsey Vonn may almost had her leg amputated. And the sad part about this is I was in favor of Lindsey Vonn. I thought she tried to do what she wanted to do or what she was going to do. And then I come to do some thinking because I talked to some folks, and they were like, well, where was the Olympic medical staff? Where was all these people at for this stuff and whatnot? Well, it turns out that, they weren't there for him, and she went ahead and did it anyway. And it turns out now she's going to be hurt more now than she was before. And so that could be, but that could be, what's going on. All right, we're going to get Mike up here in a couple seconds here. Let me get him up and moving on the phone here. So hang on one second. See where Mike is at here. Hello, Mike. All right, there's Mike Sisak. Mike, welcome to the program from Amped Up Sports. How are you, Mike? Are you there, Mike? Hello? Mike, hold on a second. Hold on one moment here. I'm going to have to get him up and moving here. I don't know what happened. Okay, there he is. Yeah, I got you, Mike. Mike Sisak from Amped Up Sports. Mike, how are you today? Good. Smokin, Jim, say hello to Mike.
Hey, Mike, glad you're on, brother.
All right. Mike, tell us a little bit about the Baltimore Ravens. I know they have Jesse Minter as their new head coach. What are your thoughts on what's going to happen with the Ravens?
Jim took him from Michigan to Chargers. When he left, of course, Chargers. Head coaching mark this year. He's the younger guy. He's only in his early 40s, to be exact. I find it interesting that they got rid of John Harbaugh and then hired another coach who has such strong ties to the Harbaugh coaching tree. That's at work both fronts. But I think this was the issue of they wanted to keep John Harbaugh and other things John Harbaugh stood for without perhaps keeping the assets person. His press availability, his conferences, and what he said so far hasn't given away much. And we know that, he's got a lot to do. The defense is older. You might say that they underperformed. A lot of people thought that the Ravens were going to go with a defensive coach. But I really just believe Jesse, having had familiar with the organization as Steve Bisciotti, got in there with Steve Bisciotti and Eric DaCosta, and just demonstrated that he was the right guy for this particular job at this particular time.
I see. Smokin' Jim, any questions for Mike?
Yeah, the Ravens still have all the material. Two of the greatest that ever played the game, and the schedule won't be as hard this year because they didn't win the division. So I look for a bounce back year in the way for the Ravens.
All right, our special guest, Mike Simsek from the Amped Up Sports. He covers the Baltimore Ravens, Washington Commanders, and Pittsburgh Steelers. Also, we have Smokin' Jim. Both are on the phone here, and both are here for your comments. Any comments in the comments section, please feel free to put your comments in. And we're live here on the Sports Nuts Network on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter X. We're also live on the Tiger Stripes Media and also live on Pensman Sports Network as well as RW Media Productions. Please like and subscribe to all of our platforms. All right. Let's see. We have a comment here. Let's see what this says here. All right. It says here. All right. Well, never mind. All right. There we go. I'm not going to worry about that comment. All right. There we go. I'm going to get rid of that. There we go. All right. All right. Look, comments at hand. Anything else, take it somewhere. All right, Mike, my next question to you is, a lot of people are criticizing this hire. Where do you think the Ravens are going to go with Jesse Minter in the first season? What do you think?
I think that they have every ability to be where they were. I think, this season got a little bit away from home. They ended up with 8 wins, but they had a ton of injuries. Lamar was never really, really healthy, and I think that Jesse can probably come in if they get any margin of better health and better performance, then they should be an improved team. Like Smokin' Jim said, the schedule I don't think will be as hard. He has hinted that he's going to change up the run game, and their offensive line coach that they brought in is one who likes to run through multiple gaps and attack the line, the defensive line, and these defensive with different looks. So although King Henry is a bit of a one-trick pony, he's very, very good at that, but he's very much a north-south power runner. I think they're going to try and vary the looks up so that they can be a little bit less predictable in the run game. There were some issues with how often they forgot that they had Derrick Henry back. But got a guy like that, you want to use him. So I think offensively, they should be a little bit more varied. The defense is going to be a question. So, Navi Mabuke, their defensive tackle who does so much for them, and based around it is so key to what they do when they're setting their fronts and stuff. He had a neck injury. He missed all of last season, and it's yet to be announced not only whether or not he can play again this season, but if he can play at all, that's going to be a massive loss. I think they would like to get better play from their linebackers. They haven't really found an adequate replacement for Patrick Queen, although I think sometimes Steelers fans would be more than willing to give him that. The edge rush just wasn't there for them last year, so they'll be looking to upgrade that. If they can make some improvements on defense, I think this is a team that can be very competitive, regardless of who the coach is. For Jesse, I think this is about as soft a landing as you can. He gets experience as a head coach with a very stable, very well-run, pretty veteran and an already successful team. All he has to do is not mess it up too much.
All right. Thanks, Mike. Smokin' Jim, any more questions for Mike Sisak? Anything you want to add?
Yeah, great job, Mike. You always bring the information for us. But what direction do you think Baltimore will go in the draft?
This is definitely, they like to go defensive. And Jesse Minter and Eric DaCosta have already expressed that they want to upgrade the lines. Their two offensive linemen. They've got three really good offensive linemen: Linda Boone, Rose Garden, and one of the other guys whose name on.
How about that Mike Falala? What's going on with him? You know, Falala or whatever.
I'm sure that he is not going to be re-signed.
Oh.
So they're going to be looking for two offensive linemen. Like I said, now the Matabuke, they don't know if he's able to play at all again. So they're going to be looking for at least some upgrades on the defensive line. I would suspect that they go at least early with somebody in the line. They have 4 pick 150, and the fifth one, the first of their 2 fifth-rounders is 152. So it's not like even that one's that far out of the.
Right.
I think they would like to get some help in the secondary.
Okay.
Nick Wiggins hasn't exactly panned out the way that they thought he was, and they've got to get somebody to put back there with Kyle Hamilton. Ed Rush would be a wide receiver. If they can pick up a tight end, Isaiah Likely is a free agent, although I fully expect him to be back. But we don't know how long Mark Andrews is going to remain on that team. They like to run a lot of 2 tight end sets, so I see them going tight end, and they're always looking for somebody, put that to Zay Flowers to get some more weapons on the is for Lamar Jackson.
All right, Mike. Likely leaving and Falala. I mean, if they're not going to re-sign him, if I'm the Steelers, I'd take a look at that guy. I wanted the Steelers to draft him, but what happened was they chose not to, and then Baltimore ended up with him. And in the same year, they took Travis Jones, who I thought the Steelers should have took as well. But to get rid of Mike Falala, wow, he's a big dude. I've never seen a sack go by him, so I don't know. What the story. What is the story with him anyway?
I think it's been a little bit of health and a little bit of he just hasn't been able to develop the ways that they thought he was going to.
So he's like a project. He was like a project, more or less. Okay.
And I don't think that they moved him around the line and they just didn't get the production from him. Andrew Voorhees was the other linebacker that they, so they like those guys. As far as resigning goes, Tyler Linderbaum, they've already said that they're going to offer him a market-setting deal. They think he's the best center in football. I think he stays. I know Isaiah Likely is a free agent. He might be a restricted free agent, but I know he's a free agent. But I do not see him getting out of the building. Lamar really, really trusts him, likes him a lot. He's become a very usable weapon. I know that he was hurt a little bit last year, which kind of affected his production. But I think if it was a choice between getting rid of Isaiah Likely or Mark Andrews would be the one out the door.
I see.
Right now, they only have about $22 million cap room, but they also have the biggest priority of all priorities is getting something done with Lamar Jackson's contract. He's got a $74 million cap hit this year, which is second among all NFL players.
Wow.
They need to work an
Yeah,
extension out with
they got to do something with him. Yeah.
If they can get an extension done, that would free up about another $30 million. Let's put them around $50 million under the cap, which means they can be some serious players for somebody like a Jalen Phillips, even.
Right. Yes, exactly. Yeah.
They're going to look. This happens to be a free agent class that has quite a few edge rushers in there. So I wouldn't be surprised if they dip in the free agency and the draft to do that. But the line, the trenches are going to be two places where they're going to look to upgrade. Even if they do bring back Daniel Fowler, I wouldn't be surprised if they drafted somebody. Everybody's looking at the Eagles right now and saying you can never have too many solid offensive.
No, you cannot. The line of scrimmage is one of the most important things in a football, on the football field. And when you have bad lines of scrimmage, look out. Anyway, Mike, while we have you, what can we expect from the Commanders this year? You cover the Washington Commanders as well. What can we expect from them this year?
Again, it all depends on health. They have David
Yeah, they had a lot of injuries last year. Yeah.
Play caller on offense, he actually got promoted over Anthony Weaver, who's been a head coach and was the assistant offensive coordinator. And this guy was the assistant quarterbacks coach last year. Creativity.
Yeah.
And they're really looking forward to having him in there. Their defensive coordinator is young too. They have a lot of free agents. They have a lot of needs.
Okay.
I think that we will have and they don't have a lot of draft.
Ooh, that's not good.
Their second round draft pick last year in the Laramie Tunsil trade. So they only have 5 draft picks, and they only have 2 of the top 100.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's going to be. They don't have a lot of draft ammunition. Adam Peters was very reluctant last year to go big in the free agent market, and I could kind of see that. I didn't necessarily think that the free agents who were out there were in areas of serious need for the Commanders, or at least where they identified needs. You could say Josh Sweat, but I don't think that they wanted to get into that business. They have about $78 million in cap.
$78 million. Oh my gosh, they could fix the whole team up. Yeah.
They also have to. The funny thing is, they have $78 million. They should even free up more if
Wow.
they work out a long-term deal with Laramie Tunsil after giving up what you gave up to get last year. I think you have to do that.
Right.
But they also have, I think, 26 free agents on a 53-man roster.
Wow, that's crazy.
And it'll be 27 when they release Marshawn Latimore.
Wow. All right.
If you look at what they need help everywhere.
Everywhere.
Except quarterback, and they like their offensive line where that is right now. I can see them still get some upgrades there, but linebacker, defensive tackle, definitely defensive end, nickel back, outside back, safety, linebacker, running back, wide receiver, tight end. If there's a position outside of quarterback, they probably need it there.
Yeah, they probably need a janitor too or something too. So assistant in the movie theater. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Starting quarterback that they don't need, and they might even need a backup quarterback because it's not from them.
Yeah, Marcus Mariota's in free agency. Yeah, he's there.
So, this is a really critical offseason for both Adam Peters and Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn is, everybody said Dan Quinn's on the hot seat. Dan Quinn's on the hot seat. Dan Quinn's on the hot seat. They went to the NFC Championship game, and then they have 5 wins.
Right.
Dan Quinn forgot how to coach. Dan Quinn had a lot of injuries that he had to deal with. I also think that it's more on Adam Peters than Dan Quinn.
Yeah.
Dan Quinn can only coach the guys.
He can only coach the talent that's on the roster. Correct. So if Peters doesn't, draft right or bring in the right people, Dan Quinn, I'm sure, has some say in what goes on here. But you know what? You can only, go so far with what you have. And, we're going to see how good Dan Quinn of a coach is this year. Can they rebound? We'll find out. Smokin' Jim, any questions?
Really great job getting those 5 wins out of that team with what he had.
Yeah, exactly. Smokin' Jim, any questions about the Commanders for Mike?
I feel bad for Washington. They went from the penthouse to the outhouse.
To the outhouse. Yeah, exactly.
And it looks like no matter how optimistic we may be about the Commanders, they play in a very tough division, up-and-coming division. The Giants is getting better. Philadelphia is great. The Dallas Cowboys look like they're getting ready to be great. Where do you see Washington fitting in just in their division next year, Mike?
How many games does Daniels play, and who is on the roster around him? This even say this iteration of the Washington Commanders because there is no iteration of the Washington Commanders. They don't have enough players on the team right now to fill out rosters. So I can tell you how.
Oh yeah, hey, Smokin' Jim. They had to call the Mean Machine. They had to recruit from the Mean Machine.
I don't know because they have so many free agents. They're missing so many. They have so many holes. It's like look at where a snowflake's going to fall in a block of Swiss cheese. Like I don't know what hole it's going to hit. So I can see them with a strong off season being very, very competitive. I can see them if they go with the plan that they have utilized the last 2 years, which is kind of only half-heartedly looking at free agents and relying mostly on lower-tier free agents, guys who are good, but probably better at the back end of the rotation than the starters. Then I think that they can struggle. Like you said, the Giants, I think, will get better.
Yeah, John Harbaugh. Yes, exactly. Yes. Yeah.
This is a team that really, legitimately, with the right personnel, they could finish first in the division. They could also easily finish last. And I can see either one happening, and I would not be surprised.
Yeah, there you go. All right, real quick here, Mike, because we got to let you go here because we got to get for a 5 o'clock wrestling show real soon here. Pittsburgh Steelers, Mike McCarthy, new head coach. He put his staff together. Free agency's coming up. The combine's going on. Where do you see the Steelers going with Mike McCarthy?
I think for the first time in ever that we see a Steelers team that is almost kind of acknowledging that it needs to be. He's got a very aging.
No, it's called retooling. They don't want to. You can paint it whatever you want. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. 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 If it quacks like a duck and it walks like a duck, it's a duck. Yeah, it's for sure. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
What is going to be? What's going to happen with quarterback position? Is Aaron Rodgers going to come back? What are they able to get as a quarterback? Do they go after somebody like Malik Willis? Do they try and trade for a rehab project? Mike McCarthy's had really good luck with getting quarterbacks both young and veteran to be able to elevate their game. I think you brought him in here to teach a quarterback how to play. So that clearly means that quarterback ain't Aaron Rodgers long term, but I think we already knew that. What are they going to do with the wide receiver? And then they've really got to make some tough decisions with this defense. They've got a lot of old guys. They've got a lot of expensive guys. You've heard Cam Hayward express repeatedly his dissatisfaction with his contract. Where are they going to go with him? I don't know that I like the Mika Fitzpatrick trade for Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah, I don't even know if Jalen Ramsey's going to be here. I don't think he's going to be here. I don't know.
And I was curious about why they did that. So they definitely need to find something, a long-term answer at the position. I don't think that quarterback tandem, the secondary needs help. They can get the quarterback, but I think the secondary needs help. They need to find somebody who can play opposite DK Metcalf, perhaps better, because I think we saw what DK Metcalf was. I've always said he's about 80 catch, 800-yard guy, 75, 80 catch, 800-yard guy. That's what he's going to give you, and if you want more, you're going to have to go out and find it. And we've talked about and spoken to him for a long time. I look at that line. Like the Ravens, they've got a couple of really good pieces, but you need to round out that group.
Yeah, my question is what's going to happen with Broderick Jones? Is he going to be back? They're going to have to, if he's not going to be back, they're going to have to find something somebody to replace him. They might have to do some moving around. And, so I'm hearing Samalu might not come back, Isaac Salamalu. I hear he's a free agent. I'm hearing stories he might retire. So we'll see where the Steelers go with Mike McCarthy. Smokin' Jim, anything you want to add before I let Mike go?
No, great job, Mike, man. We always enjoy you.
Absolutely, man. Anytime.
All right, anytime, gentlemen. You have a good one.
You too, Mike. Thank you. Mike Sibsak from the Amped Up Sports. Always great to have Mike on. Smokin' Jim, he comes on. He gives us all the insight on the Washington Commanders, the Baltimore Ravens, and the Pittsburgh Steelers, who he covers for Amped Up Sports. Smokin' Jim, your thoughts on what Mike had to say on all three teams. Go ahead.
I mean, he was excellent with the Baltimore Ravens. I couldn't agree with you more. He was struggling there as a Washington Commanders fan. You and I both said that they were going to take a step back last year. Everybody laughed at us. I just don't see it. I don't see the pieces. I think that they made a major mistake with their head coach. He's not going to be able to rebound that team. Like he said, they need pieces to the puzzle almost everywhere. I don't think they got a great leader in the quarterback. He's a talented kid that can't stay healthy. But I don't see the leadership. I just think that when the going is good, he'll ride the wave, but now that it's bad, and I don't think he's going to like the criticism that comes with the position and losing. So he says he can see them going anywhere from first
or last. It all depends on what they can do, you know.
I can see last.
Yeah, I agree with you, Smokin' Jim, because you know what? Some coaches are only as good as their assistants. And, if you don't have the right assistants in place now, you know what? Dan Quinn got lucky in the first year with Jalen Daniels, because of Cliff Kingsbury being there. Now Cliff Kingsbury's gone. Now what do you do next? You know what I'm saying? And he has to stay healthy. And if they can keep, if they were a mash unit this year. So, I mean, and the question is, and Dan Quinn's been there. He's been to the Super Bowl. He was a coach in Atlanta. Can he, rebound this year? And we'll see what happens. But, it also is the front office, too. I mean, GM's not bringing in the right talent. If he is, and not making the right moves. But, of course, like you always say, too, the coach can put his input in there and say, hey, you know what I mean? I want this guy. I need this guy. I need that guy. You know what I mean? So Tiger Stripes Media says, great show. Thank you, Brian Pettit, for that. And so thank everybody for your comments today. Smokin' Jim, any final thoughts before we wrap it up? Go ahead.
No, sir.
All right. For Smokin' Jim Frazier, and I want to thank Mike Simsak, and I want to thank Lou Marconi, our guest today, and I also want to thank the Sports Nuts Network for letting us broadcast on their network as well. KFCE Radio for simulcasting us on their station. And also, before we go, I have a couple announcements to make real quick here. Don't forget every Monday through Friday, 1 o'clock Central Time, tune in to the Ralph's Opinion Show on KFCE 95.5 FM, TigerNation.live. And also our shows are simulcasted through the Sports Nuts Network right on their network as well. Also, I want to talk to you today about my show in Philadelphia. Tomorrow, we are a live call-in show every fourth Wednesday of the month. We do a live call. So tune in tomorrow, Wednesday, 3 to 4 p.m. live. I will be live call-in show on 860 AM WWDB. Philadelphia, we got a lot to talk about, in Philadelphia and all across the world. We got a lot to talk about tomorrow as well on that show. And don't forget also don't forget, let me see here, what else we got here. Okay, don't forget about Saturday Sports Show with there you are right there for that. And don't forget about all right, and also don't forget about the Sports Corner radio show every Saturday, 2 to 3 p.m. with myself, Smokin' Jim Frazier, Claudia Rosano, Luther Dupree, every Saturday, 2 to 3 p.m., 12:50 a.m. The Answer, 92.5 on the FM dial. And once again, Monday through Friday, this is my second week on the station, KFCE Radio, TigerNation.live, the Ralph's Opinion Show, 1 o'clock p.m. Central Time, 2 o'clock on the East Coast. Don't forget to tune in every Monday through Friday. For Smokin' Jim Frazier, I'm Ralph Williams. Have yourself a great one, and please, by all means, be safe. Thank you.